Things have gone from bad to worse for disgraced anti-Trump former FBI agent Peter Strzok. After a series of text messages came out last week that appeared to suggest he was leaking FBI Russia, Trump info to the press, his lawyer came out and said that everyone was misunderstanding. Strzok was actually trying to help Trump by stopping the leaks. Well, now a new set of texts have been released, which prove, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that Strzok was indeed leaking to the press, and he had quite a few sources battling for his info. Sara Carter's series of text messages released Wednesday reveal that former FBI Special Agent Peter Strzok was in contact with reporters at The New York Times and Washington Post regarding stories they published about the FBI's investigation into alleged collusion between Russia and President Trump's campaign during the spring of 2017, according to a series of texts obtained by SaraCarter.com. The text messages suggest that Strzok, along with his paramour, former FBI attorney Lisa Page, had been in contact with reporters from both newspapers. Strzok specifically mentioned two-time Pulitzer Prize-winning New York Times writer Michael Schmidt his text message to Page. Strzok wrote, also, apparently Times is angry with us about the WP Washington Post scoop and earlier discussion we had about the Schmidt piece that had so many inaccuracies. Too much to detail here, but I told Mike redacted and Andy they need to understand we were absolutely dealing in good faith with them. Strzok texted to Page on April 14, 2017. The FISA one, coupled with the Guardian piece from yesterday, The New York Times did not respond immediately for comment. The Washington Post also did not respond immediately for comment. According to several U.S. officials who spoke to this news outlet, Mike mentioned in Strzok's text message as Mike Corton, the former FBI Assistant Director for Public Affairs who retired in February. Andy was in reference to former FBI Deputy Director Andrew McCabe. McCabe was fired earlier this year after it was revealed in DOJ Inspector General Michael Horowitz's report that said he lied to investigators and leaked information to the media. Past and present U.S. officials say the template for the leak campaign can be traced back to the Obama administration's efforts to sell the 2015 Iran nuclear deal, which made the press reliant on background conversations and favorable leaks from government officials. Obama advisor Ben Rhodes told The New York Times in 2016 that we created an echo chamber that helped retail the administration's narrative. That same configuration, said Michael Doran, a senior official in the George W. Bush White House, the press, political operatives, newly minted experts, social media validators, was repurposed to target Trump, his campaign, transition team, then the presidency. The echo chamber's primary instrument in attacking the current White House, said Doran, is the Russia collusion narrative. RCI has found that the anti-Trump leaks fall into two broad categories or phases. Initially, the leaking was an offensive operation aimed at disrupting Trump's agenda, especially through leaks alleging connections between his campaign and the Russians. Its early successes included leaks of highly classified material that led to the firing of National Security Advisor Michael Flynn and the recusal of Attorney General Jeff Sessions from overseeing that probe. The second phase, which began roughly a year into the Trump administration, has been more defensive, pushing back against congressional oversight committees that had uncovered irregularities in the FBI's investigation of Trump. This phase has been marked by the willingness of press outlets to run stories backing off earlier reported leaks that proved to be deeply misleading, including the roots of the FBI's investigation of the Trump campaign and the relationship between Deputy Attorney General Bruce Ohr and the opposition research firm that produced a central document of that probe, the largely discredited Steele dossier.